You told me that you grew up in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma City.
So were you a hunter when you were growing up or anything like that?
Yes, one deer every year.
Did you go with your family or how did you
I
manage to
went
go
with
back?
some friends and got a deer. It's a pain to get licensed.
Why?
There's a lot of paperwork to fill out.
So how old were you the first time you went?
13.
Was that a big deal to go off and go on your first deer
Yes,
hunt?
because you got to fill yourself with pee so that you won't be attracted by deer and they won't run. We stood in a deer stand and we slept there overnight.
So you went with your dad.
And some friends' fathers.
Oh.
And some friends.
You're going to see your dad today.
We're in the process of repairing our relationship. My father's birthday is tomorrow.
That's wonderful. Can you tell me some more about that?
Well, I was raised by my grandfather. My mother or father, when they divorced, didn't have the means mentally or financially to raise children.
Did you have brothers and sisters who went with you?
I had a little brother and a little sister.
You all went to live with your grandfather.
Yes. I was a little boy. I was 6.
Well, that must have been a big change.
It was, but my grandfather could send us to private schools and my parents couldn't.
Did you have a grandmother too, or was it just your grandfather?
We had a grandmother, but she was a difficult person to live with.
Do you mind my asking how she was difficult?
Well, she was strenuous.
She expected a lot from you, or?
She expected us to make good grades and expected us to be golfers. And my talent was in baseball
Huh.
and football.
Oh, that's right. You said that you went to Oklahoma
State.
State on a baseball scholarship. That's pretty impressive.
Well, we had to sign letters of intent every semester, and we had to sign a morals clause. We could have girlfriends, but our girlfriends had to be within our age.
So I'm really curious again about your grandfather and your grandmother as parental sort of figures. What kind of house did you live in? Where was it? I don't know Oklahoma City.
I lived in a 4-bedroom house. It was a nice home.
So would you say you had a happy childhood if you look
Yes.
back at it? Oh, that's so nice. I'm glad. If you think back to your grandmother and your grandfather, what do you think the biggest gifts they gave you were?
They gave me a good work ethic. They gave me a sense of accomplishment.
What do you think are your greatest accomplishments?
Well, I got a baseball scholarship. I had a girlfriend all through high school, and I made good grades.
And how long have you been here at the Mount?
1 year and 4 months.
And from what you told me, you like it here.
We eat nicely 3 times a day, and I sleep well.
Sounds really good to me.
And they bring our meds to us because I have epilepsy.
Not only your dad lives here, but your brother lives here.
Yes. He has a real estate business, and he's busy, busy, busy. And I have a younger sister. She's in Oklahoma City. She's a doctor. But I didn't know her married name. So I went into her office. I said, "Is Carol here?" And the receptionist said, "We don't call her Carol." I said, "I do."
It's Dr. So-and-so.
And I didn't know her last name because she got married and changed her name.
When was the last time you saw her? Has it been a while?
Yes. I would think she would visit more often, but she has a hard time getting away from her husband.
So let's talk about your kids. So you have 2?
A boy and a girl. They're 20 and 19. I called my daughter on her 18th birthday. She said, "Don't worry, Dad, I know everything." I said, "Life hasn't kicked you in the butt yet. I don't want it to, but it's going to."
I don't think that they realize until probably they're in their 30s that somehow they don't know everything. What do you think they'll end up doing in life? Do you have any idea?
Our daughter wants to be a doctor, and my son hasn't made up his mind.
So you told me that one of the things that you were really proud of was having been a drug and alcohol counselor.
Most of them wanted to quit drugs and alcohol. Others didn't.
Uh-huh.
It was a difficult job.
I can only imagine. I would think it would be a difficult job to do for a long time.
Well, some people have been at it 20 years. I didn't last that long.
So how long were you in that career?
5 years.
And then you went on to,
The Army was a sniper.
and that was you told me that was in 1990 to 1998.
I was in Iraq.
Do you want to talk about that at all?
Well, I killed a lot of people.
So do you feel like you were able to make a difference being over there?
No. A lot of the citizens said, "Get Saddam Hussein out." A lot of people said they would put down their lives for Saddam, and they did. I thought he was a bad person, but they thought he was a great guy.
So it sounds like being caught between.
Between the Sunnis and the Shiites, and they're both conservative Muslim people.
Did you get to know any Iraqis while you were there?
A few. The kids were nice, but the adults were hard to get along with.
Where did you live when you were there?
Well, we camped out.
So were you off in the countryside?
Well, we landed in Baghdad, but we had to parachute to Crete.
That was a big battle, wasn't it?
Yes. That's where Saddam is from.
So when you came back from the war, what happened after that?
Well, I saw a doctor for PTSD, but she just said Lexapro, which is a mild antidepressant, which made me feel tired and lethargic. And she just said, we'll give you more Lexapro. I said, so I feel more tired and more lethargic?
So that sounds difficult. Was there other kinds of support for you?
No.
We hear these stories that our vets haven't been very well supported.
I figured out why they killed themselves at such a terrible rate. They don't feel like they're supported, and there's no jobs for them to come back to.
So you told me you got shot while you were over there.
In the hip.
Did you come back to the States for your recovery?
Well, they could replace the hip, but I had to come back here for rehab.
And is that when you ended up leaving the service?
They wanted me to re-up for another 4 years, and I said, I'm out of here.
So you did two 4-year terms? Is that how it goes?
8 years. Re-upped once.
When you came back from Iraq, how was it to come back into everyday civilian life?
That's when I became a alcohol and drug counselor.
And you said you made good money doing that.
I made okay money. I made $40,000 a year.
A living wage, for sure.
A living wage.
Aside from giving you Lexapro, they didn't do anything for PTSD?
No.
Do you still have flashbacks?
I do, but I ignore them.
Would you have advice for anyone else in your position?
I would tell them to come back
Come back.
to the United States for themselves. And hopefully they can help out other people.
And that's pretty much what you did.
Lexapro stinks.
What I think I'm hearing you say is that coming back and helping others is better than Lexapro.
Yes.